What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, D Indoor Commentary. Man, look at the field that you can make turn one. This is why Yu-Gi-Oh is just I hate to say it. I don't know what to say. I still love the game. I love Yu-Gi-Oh with a passion. I was playing off stream for I lost track of time. I think I started playing at like 8. So I've been playing off stream for about 3-4 hours here. But anyways, we're recording this match. Blue Magician Paul 1648. Looks like Performages and Pals. Well, this actually could be Draco Pals, more or less, because he's running not just Vector, but he's running Master too. So, I mean, people run, from what I hear, from what I've been told on my stream, is that you probably won't see, you won't really see Brilliant Fusion and Performa Pals anymore. You'll see like Draco Rivals or Draco Face Off, excuse me. Yeah, you'll see that card will basically just be replaced by Draco Face Off. Draco Face Off, somebody activated that against me. I read it. I was like, oh my god, that card is fucking nuts. So basically you get a freaking like Master Pendulum or Luster Pendulum, and then the other one goes to your extra deck, so you just sub it back out. Like, that card is nuts. Alright, but we've got Blue Magician Ball 1648 versus Calcanio 1344. Looks like a Performages and Pals mirror match. And I mean, when you can do this turn one, this is the dumbest thing ever. Look at this, man. You've got Cyber Dragon Infinity, you've got Ignister, and you've got Dynastor, man. That's just crazy. So your cards already, like, you can't even get Wavering Eyes because this dude protects your it's what's it called? If I'm not mistaken, it's Pendulum cards. No, excuse me, Pendulum monsters you control and cards in your okay, I was right. So it's by battle or opponent's card effects. So yeah, your opponent can't even Wavering Eyes you while you have this card on the field, as long as it's face up and not being negated anyways. So, I mean, I think it's just kind of difficult to come back from this. Now, he did use Cyber Dragon Infinity. This card is just brutal, Konami. I think here's what they need to do. They need to just ban Ptolemaeus. Like, real talk, they just need to ban that card. And it hurts me to say that because I'm a Tonite player, but they gotta do what they gotta do, man. Like, that card is just so unhealthy for the game right now. Even without Cyber Infinity, it's really annoying to see people just constantly going to Pallades without any level 4s. I mean, excuse me, with like only level 4s in their deck. And I've done it before with Teller Knights, but that doesn't make it right. Like, that card just needs to go. I think I'd rather deal with Norden than deal with like Ptolemaeus. I mean, to be honest, I think they should just ban them both. That would make for like a much better and healthier format. Because then you wouldn't, like, the only deck that would be able to make like Cyber Dragon Infinity turn 1 would be like Dino Mist, and it's like, okay, that's cool, man, because like, let them have that. if they can summon it by going Nova and then ranking up Nova to Infinity, like, that's fine. Like, give them a power play. All right, but back to the duel. So we knew that Scroll Crowbutt Joker was on field, and then we got a Gigabyte special summon. Still has not used the Pendulum summon. So I guess the only good thing about Giturtle is that you can't Pendulum it back. Thank God. If they would have made that level 4, I'd just been like, all right, rest in peace, Yu-Gi-Oh. It's been real. Just make every monster level 4. Like, who cares what the stats are? We're just going to Pendulum summon it, and then we're just going to exceed. Like, we don't care what the stats are, because we're never going to attack with that shit. We're going to use big monsters to attack, or we're going to Synchro Shokin into this. Here's where Exiton would be awesome, boys. You invest all of this to the field, you don't play any real traps, Exiton, get wrecked. This is why we need Exiton back. All right, he goes into Castel. And unless he has, obviously, Solemn Strike. Solemn Strike is like the be-all, end-all right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like it's about to be. If only Konami had made it an Ultra. Gets rid of Dynastor. Oh, maybe he has Aruri Eyes. Because, I mean, if he's getting rid of Dynastor, that kind of tells me that he's really trying to get rid of the Pendulum Scales. So he might have a Ruri Eyes that he wants to activate. Although Blue Magician Paul could easily have a Damage Juggler or his own Ruri Eyes to chain. I mean, maybe they'll both have like 3 Ruri Eyes. That would be awesome. Alright, so activates Lizard. Draws a card. A lot of times you just Pendulum Summon Lizard back. Activates that Upstart. Draw power is win power. That's what I always say. The power to draw is the power to win in Yu-Gi-Oh! In my personal opinion. And what's going to be the follow-up here? That's the question, though. Which shall be the follow-up? And I still feel like Mermills, Monarchs, and Pepe are going to be the best decks of the format. I don't know where Magicians fall into this. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Well, it'll probably be the same day that you guys see this. All right, looks like he's got that Mirror Conductor. But I don't know where Magicians, because the thing is, like, Konami's still pushing them. It wasn't just a structure deck, but they got like Tuning Magician. They got their own Synchro now with Enlightenment Paladin. I know it doesn't have the word Magician in it, but to me, it's basically a Magician card because you can only summon it with Magician Pendulums, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that it definitely qualifies as like an extra deck monster for that deck. All right, so he's going for okay. All right, so he's using I guess he wants to cut a monster down. Let me read you right quick. Once starting target one special summon monster on the field, its attack and defense becomes equal to its current attack or defense, whichever's okay. So that. All right, so yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you cut this one down? It's got 0 attack. All right, there's that Ruri Eyes. Whoa, what the freak is this? Spell Vanishing. Discard 2 cards from your hand, negate the activation of a spell and destroy it. Also, check your opponent's deck or your opponent's hand or deck for any spell cards with the same name as the destroyed spell card. Send them all to the graveyard. Oh my god, Ruri Eyes, get wrecked. Wow. Okay, so I assume you use that against Ruri Eyes, and I assume that you'd use it against Draco Face Off because you run 3 of those. Oh my goodness, dude. This is like new. Is this new tech? Because I've never seen this before. If I'm not mistaken, I'm just going to give a quick guess. This came out in... Oh, no! He had more Ruri Eyes in his hand! Oh, kid. Oh, man. The snipes. He had another Ruri. He was waiting for him to chain a Damage Juggler or a Ruri Eyes, and he would have chained his second one. Oh, Lord. GG no Ri. So here's what I'm thinking. Spell Vanishing... I want to say Magician's Force. Hold on, I'm gonna just. I hate to cut away right quick. Let's see. Dark Crisis. Oh, I think that was like a couple sets after because it had Breaker. Okay, I should have guessed that because it had Breaker on the front of it. So I should have known that it wasn't in the same set as Breaker, but I knew it was somewhere around that era. All right, so he activates Draco Face Off again. This card is so stupid. So he reveals a Vector Pendulum and he reveals a Luster Pendulum to his opponent, and then you randomly get one of them. So I guess I don't know if he's going to do a flip or a die roll. I find a flip to be much easier than a die roll. You know what I mean? All right, so he gets Vector Pendulum, and then Luster Pendulum goes to the extra deck. All right, looks like he's going to attack the Ignister. Keep in mind that Ignister only has 0 attack. Can't say only has 0 attack. And then he's able to keep himself the copy of Vector Pendulum. It'd be great if this was Rector Pendulum. It'd be even better. All right. Here's the problem, though. Cyber Dragon Infinity is still sitting on the field like, what you want to do? All right. And Calcanio just says, man, I can't take any more of this. I'm just going to go ahead and scoop. So, I mean... That's a new card. I don't think I've ever... And that's in the main deck, too. Blue Magician Fall is main... Dude, you have to give up so many cards to use that, though. But I guess if you hit, like, an E-Teleport or Cosmo Town... what else is... Like, what other big spells are... Well, anything in Monarchs. Like, Pantheism. That's a good card to hit. Or, actually, no. Dominion's even better. Because then your opponent just, like... Yeah. Dominion's probably even better to hit. And in the mirror match, you can hit Draco Face Off, or you can obviously hit Ruri Eyes. So, okay, got some interesting Tech-a-Rooney there. Looks like Blue Magician Paul is done sighting, so we're going to game 2 in just a second. Might see some even crazier tech, because I don't really know, like, what these players... I don't really know what you side in the mirror match. You know what I mean? Looks like he has his deck already, like, he has his deck kind of, like, already sided, so... Okay, and Blue Magician Paul is going first. It's scary, man, when this deck goes first, because, you know, just having to deal with an Infinity turn 1 is just, it's just nuts. Some people are talking about how Forbidden Chalice might come back, but it's like, do you really want to have to do that just to stop one card, you know? Like, do you really want to have to run something like that? All right, so he goes for Luster Pendulum, pops his own Pendulum Sorcerer. He knows he can get it right back to the field anyway, so it's no big deal. Oh, he's playing a Rodney. Okay. Pops his entire scales to search out 2 more pendulum cards to get himself a Scroll Combat Joker. It's weird that he does that. It's weird that he would, what's it called though? It's weird that he would, because wait, can you can only pop? I thought he can pop any 2 cards on the field. I don't know why would he not pop a Rodney? Get himself a free copy of like Solemn Notice. Okay, what's it called? All monsters. Okay, that's your pendulum effect. You can target up to 2 cards you control. That's interesting. All right, well, okay, well, he just popped this scales, but I guess he's just gonna reset them anyways. So Rodney's on the field. I would assume somehow, some way he wants to kill his owner Rodney. Which means what I'm thinking is, are you once per turn? You can only use, okay, yeah, you're once per turn. Fair enough. I was gonna say if that's not once per turn, just good night, because I'm pretty sure he wants to try and special summon another one to blow this one up. People have been saying that this card is inconsistent and Performages. I don't really I don't get how people say it clogs. I mean, it's a level 3. I mean, excuse me, it's a scale 3 and like Luster Pendulum isn't he a 5, so it's like perfect synergy. But I mean, I guess you're not always gonna have that combo. You're at scale 5, right? Yeah, scale 5. It's like perfect synergy. Now he's going for Synchro Shogun. And okay, I think he's just trying to protect his field. Oh, then puts that Vector Pendulum there so that his opponent will have no effects of monsters in his pendulum zones. Not to mention, he has Dinister. So it's going to be really hard to blow this card up because it's protected by this. And this dude has a 2950 butt. Don't know why on earth they made this card a rare. Should have been an ultra rare, but you know, that's beyond the point. They could have just took away one of those crappy Buster Blader cards easily. Draco Face Off is played. All right, so in my opinion, from what I've seen, going first seems to be better because not only can you, okay, so for starters, you can get Dinister on the field, which means that like your opponent can't play Rory Eyes on you. So it's like you can get your scale set up without having to worry about Wavering Eyes. I guess there's Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, but I'd rather deal with that than like Wavering Eyes and losing. And then you can do things like this turn 1, like Vector Pendulum, so your opponent can't even use their scales. Well, they can use them, but they can't use effects in them. So, like, good luck, Cleafort players. You can't activate Scout, get wrecked. And it just seems good. Like I mean, you can almost call this the Luster Pendulum deck. I mean, there's Luster Pendulum, there's Luster Pendulum. If only we had that new card from Shining Victor. Like, he could literally activate it right now and just, that shit would be nuts. So for anybody thinking it's hard to do that, like, no, it's really not. I can't think of the name off of the. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. You guys know the one I'm talking about. The spell where if your opponent controls a non-pendulum Draco Slayer monster and you control a Draco Slayer or Dracover Lord monster, you can spin basically the entire field back to the deck. Could you imagine if he just summoned Luster Pendulum and then just act like he activated Draco Face Off, summoned Luster Pendulum, and then just like activate? Like all of this would just get spun and be like good night. All right, so I think he's going for the Ignister play. We're gonna have all 3 versions on the field at one time. This is like Duelception, dude. Seriously, this is all the same guy. Like this is all Master Pendulum. Excuse me. This is all Luster Pendulum. Like this, and this. It's all the same person. He met 3 different, I guess, groups, and they gave him different abilities. But yeah, this is all the same guy essentially. Now I want to see if people are playing a Fat Veiler or. Would you even play a Rodney without Solemn Notice or excuse me, Solemn Strike? Like that just makes no sense. Okay, but he's gonna let him use the effect though. Now this monster can get spun. Well, I think everything can get spun. I just think they can't be destroyed. This doesn't target either, so can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Fair enough. Okay. Uses puts Plush Fire in the scale. Blue Magician Paul might be thinking here. I almost wanted to see if he was going to use Spell Vanishing when he activated Draco Face Off. Like, whoa. Oh, activates Typhoon? Do you want a Typhoon? That's still going to trigger, though. Okay. Maybe he thought he really needed it for the scale. Activates Typhoon on Plush Fire. All right. Keep in mind, it's a face-up Speller Trap on the field. Pendulum cards are on the field. I would assume he'll activate Plush Fire. And he does, of course. Why would you not activate Plush Fire? This is a very interesting duel. Like it's very very rare that you see a ritual. Excuse me, fusion, an XC, and a synchro all on the field at the same time. You just don't see that much. All right, now he's gonna activate what's it called? Mirror Conductor's effect. Try and make this defense a little weaker. I believe that its defense is now 2,000 defense. So I mean, he can run it over the mighty Draco Slayer. The weird thing is, like, I don't even think Dynamis would even make this card. Every Dynamis version that I've seen doesn't even use Luster Pendulum, which is kind of weird. Because it seems like Luster Pendulum should fit into the deck, but, like, they don't even use it. So maybe they're just building the deck wrong. I mean, that's a possibility. That they're just building the deck wrong. But, I mean, because if you ran Luster Pendulum and Dynamist, then you'd be able to make this guy and this guy and this guy. So you're able to make all three of them. Like, that card gives you access to everybody, and then you don't have to worry about your skills getting cracked. Although usually when their skills get cracked, they just add them to their hand anyway, so they kind of have they have a pretty decent immunity to things like MST and whatnot. So if you're just like MST negate your skill, they'll just be like, all right, put it back in my hand, you're not scaring me at all. Okay, still looking at his extra deck. I mean, he's got 2 4s on board. Maybe he's thinking about Xing. That answers that question. Question is, what exceed is he going to go for? That random 500 life point cost for Mirror Conductor, it should have been like 1,000. That effect is very, very strong. Especially you can use it during the damage step. Like, to me, that effect is a little more strong than like 500 life points would warrant. I think it should have been like 1,000 or something like that. No, nothing upwards of 1,000, because 1,000 is like, you know, you can use a skill drain with that, but I think it should have been like 1,000 life points. To just build that into a monster. Like, you know how many archetypes would love to have something like that? You know, I wish they'd have built that into fucking every Teller Knight. Are you kidding? I'd still be playing that deck now. You'd never run over my Teller Knights. I would just play Unu control with like 3 Regal. I wouldn't even play Altair. All right. Oh my goodness, man. The Draco Slayer field is real. Does anybody else know that we got 4 different Draco Slayer monsters on the field at the same time? Like, the Draco Slayer field is real right now, guys. That is crazy. all we need is the ritual. It's a fucking party. I mean, it's definitely not on Dueling Network, but if somehow the ritual was summoned, it would just be a party. Plays Good Turtle, then plays Monkey Board. I think he's just doing this so that he can pendulum anything from 6 to 1, so 2s to 5s. Special summons 3 monsters. If he does synchro, he should be able to get this guy's effect off again. No. Check that. It has to be destroyed. Check that. My bad. Check that. We're gonna see another synchro. What other synchros do they use other than Ignister, anyways? Oh, Omega. Yeah, people might run Omega. Okay, goes into a second Ignister. I think he might use the Ignister to blow up the Plush Fire. And then spin down. I guess he could go for try and go for like an OTK here, depending on what else he has. Yeah, as long as he has more Performage monsters that he can summon, Damage Juggler would be like super ideal. Get you a search too. Get you a monster and a search so that you can maybe summon like Trick Clown, or not Trick Clown, Hat Tricker. There's more than enough monsters on the field for you to resolve such an effect. Now, why is he spending a die? Why? Yeah, I have no idea why he is rolling a die. That doesn't seem appropriate here. Unless he's just trying to decide randomly which pendulum scale. Okay, so he's gonna hit Dynester. Well, then why did he cut it in? Why did he even use? If he was gonna just spin Dynester from the beginning, what was the point of what's it called? That's what I was just gonna. Why did you even use Mirror Conductor if you were just gonna spin it anyways? You just gave up 500 life points for no reason. Like that was literally the first thing I thought of. Is like, hold on, if you were just gonna spin Dynester, why'd you even use Mirror Conductor's effect? Shouldn't you have used it on like the other monster? All right, so he is getting the ideal Damage Juggler, and well, no, I guess he won't be. I mean, he doesn't have any other monsters, so rip. But he still can do a lot of damage here. I still think he gave it 500 life points for nothing though. So yeah, man, I guess everything is about the Like everything is about what's it called? Oh no, excuse me. Looks like he's gonna use the Magispector. Or no, I'm trying to remember this guy's name. Majesties? Majester. I was close. Majester. Okay, I was close. He uses Majester to special summon the what's it called? Drake, the Master Luster Pendulum back from the extra deck. It can still attack too. He can actually still synchro again if he wanted to. I think the only thing that would make sense is Omega, assuming that Blue Magician Paul lives, but he doesn't. So he had no what's it called? He had no damage juggler. That's kind of surprising. And then he had Flying Sea as the last card in his hand, which is kind of good, but you know the guy has 2 synchros on board, so like I don't know how good it is, because people do run synchros in this deck. Like, never forget that. Flying Sea is good, but it's not the be all end all, because they run fusions and they also run synchros, and there are ways that they can get those cards off the board. And then obviously they can use something like Flying Sea to just ram into your monster if you ever put a monster in attack mode and you don't kill them. All right, so we're going to game 3, and what is game 3 going to bring us? Maybe more spell vanishings. Maybe he sided them out. I mean, we've only seen like 2 spells in this match, like Wavering Eyes and Drago Face Off. We haven't seen anything else. Well, I think we saw some upstarts, but everything else hasn't been that important. Everything else has just been meh, not really of that much importance. All right, so what exactly are we going to see during our next game? Blue Magician Paul has gone first every single game here. Activates Monkey Board. 1 card Pendulum Scale, but Scout's too broke though. I mean, I kind of get, I do understand why. I kind of get Scout, because it does search all of the archetype, even though, I mean, it does cost life points, but I mean, it's just the fact that Monkey Board kind of does the same thing. I know it doesn't search spell and traps, but it searches your Stratos. Like, they should just put it in terms of other shit that has gotten banned. If you just take Performages and compare them to E-Heroes, it'd be like if, well, see, it's not the same, because any monster in the GX era that would have searched Stratos would have had to take up some type of summon. Like, it'd have been like if it was a monster that special summoned itself and then it searched out Stratos, and then you summon Stratos and search anything. Like, that's what it would have been. Like, you play Monkey Board, it searches out Joker, and then you just play Joker, and then you get whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Like, Joker just, he's Stratos for the whole archetype, not including like spells and traps again, but all the monsters. So it's like, man, okay, if Stratos is banned and you can't even use him for, like, I mean, I guess you can use him for fusion summoning, but dude, Scroll Combat Joker, you don't even have to normal summon that thing for it to be useful. You can just pendulum, you can put it in the pendulum zone. I don't really see people doing that much, but you can do it. It is an 8. Yeah, it is an 8. I don't think I hardly ever see people use him for his scale, which is crazy because his scale is so high. I guess most people just stick to, like, right now, Dragon Pit in the TCG. Okay, we got a Master Pendulum and a Luster Pendulum. This is him, and this is him when he grows up. Obviously, he's got them golden wings. His shield is a little more golden, so obviously he got rich, got a little more money. It's like, I'm balling now, dog. I got to step up my game. Okay, and he's just seriously penduluming it up. That's, I don't even know if that's a word. Penduluming it up. All right, pendulum summon of 3 monsters. I would assume he's probably going to use what's it called, Sorcerer's Effect. He pops his scales to search even more scales. I will never understand why they made that card. Gets Turtle and Lizard Draw. Now, what I have seen some people play is Joan Lockbird. I've seen some people like main decking that. Basically, it just stops all the searching. Although that didn't really work against Necros, so I don't know why it would work here. Maybe it's time to play Mistake again. I mean, not Mistake. Mistake or Shared Ride, you know? Maybe it's time to play like Shared Ride again. All right. And you see, obviously, he has more than enough monsters on board for Cyber Dragon Infinity. He can clearly do that. Again, if Ptolemaeus wasn't a thing, it would be a little less beneficial to special summon 4 monsters turn 1, because you wouldn't be able to make infinity through conventional terms unless you were playing a machine deck like Dino Mist. You wouldn't be able to do this. Well, I can't think of any other machine decks that have, like Cleaford don't have level 5s. They're all level 4s. It'd have been crazy if Cleaford if they did become level 5s. That'd have been nuts. He might go for, that's what I was thinking, he might go for a Majester just to like continually search, you know, because he might go Majester and then go Dinister. Like, that wouldn't be bad. That would not be bad at all. Go for Dinister, then go for Majester. Okay. And he detached, and he is going to go for Dinister. Again, Dinister is mainly about just having protection for your monsters. Not to mention, it's just a big beefy monster, almost 3,000 defense. It has a decent amount of defense, but it protects your scales. It protects any other pendulum monsters you have face up on the field. Plays a Rodney, and looks like he's going to. Oh wait, nope. Calcanio wants to do something. What do you want to do? You know, against something like this, if he activated a Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, that would be pretty good. Oh, plays a Flying Sea? Well, why would he wait now? That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I guess he wanted to do it so that he couldn't, I guess he did that so that he couldn't rank this up into, or so that he couldn't turn this into like a Pallades or something. I mean, he can keep attaching materials all he wants, but he can never really change this into anything else, because it still counts as an XC summon. But I don't know. I just think, even though Maxi and stuff are like 1 turn shots, they're like basically 1 turn. I feel like Maxi just provides so much, like the benefit of Maxi is so much higher than a card like Flying Sea, because you still kind of have to get through the back row. I mean, who knows? Maybe Calcanio has like Twin Twister. He can just pop the back row or something like that. But I mean, that's just dumb when you can have you can start with 5 cards and then he ends with 9 cards. Well, let's not count this because his opponent gave him that. But okay, so 3, 3, 2, 8 cards. Come on, man. You go +3 in your first turn. It's not even the like, look at the quality of monsters that he has. Like Ace Boss Monster, Ace Boss Monster, Ace Boss Monster. Like the 3 monsters you have on field are all like 2,000 defense or higher. Like, come on. That is just stupid. And in addition, this can turn into like a Pallades. This protects your entire scales. Like, I just think this is just nuts. They gotta address this, man. They gotta get rid of Ptolemaeus. They gotta get rid of Norden. They gotta get rid of Plushfire. Like, I think it's time to just have like a unified ban list again. Seriously, I would totally be willing to play under the OCG list. Like, for real, I would totally be willing to play under the OCG list. Because they don't have... Oh, what? Did we just see a pass turn? What just happened there? Okay. So, Calcanio just passed turn. I think he really should have went first. Because Blue Magician Paul has been making these really ridiculous, absurd fields. I think he didn't summon because he didn't want him to ram his Flying Sea into it. But I guess he just bricked. Twin Twister, Luster Pendulum. Another Luster Pendulum. That's not good. There's a draw, and the last card is, oh, Ruri Eyes. Okay, and he couldn't use Ruri Eyes again because he had, what's it called? Well, he had Dinister, so you can't use, well, he can't use Twin, oh, he could use Twin Twister against the back row, but I guess that is another card that you could hit too. So, interesting tech, dude. Spell Vanishing might become meta. All right, thank you guys for watching as always.